takes you to the newsmakers.
City News.
It's midday. Hello, good afternoon to you and welcome to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. The news is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. It's also live on all our partner stations across the country and around the world. We are live on citynewsroom.com. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa and this afternoon I'm here with
Charles Ozukumi. Coming
up, President Akufo-Addo nominates 3 new justices to the Supreme Court to fill vacancies at the Apex Court pending approval by the Appointment Committee of Parliament.
I instructed the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Mr. Godfred Yeboah-Dame, of my intention to appoint to the Supreme Court.
Also coming up, Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Appiah-Markin gives reasons for the absence of the National Security Minister Albert Kandapar to appear before the House yesterday to answer questions on the recent military attacks on residents of Garu and Timpani in the Upper East region.
As and when they are needed for further investigations, will be invited. So, Mr. Speaker, that matter has been settled. The National Security Minister did what was supposed to be done. In follow due process.
Still ahead, management of Citi FM and Citi TV dispatches 2 truckloads of relief items to North Dai and Afaja to South in the Volta region to help persons displaced by the rising water level of the Volta Lake.
Now, this is our foremost intervention. As time goes on, we'll be liaising with them and then see what else we can do to help. If it happens to them, it's happened to us. It's one Ghana. So let's all continue helping. And on this note, on behalf of the communities here, we thank you for giving.
Meanwhile, the team is currently on their way to repair in the Savannah region to also support persons affected by the Volta Lake. And later, National Disaster Management Organization cautions canoe operators along river bodies to use life jackets at all times following the drowning of 12 persons in the Afram River.
NADBO supplied life jackets to these canoe operators somewhere last year, and we realized they are not making good use of the life jackets. At least making use of the life jackets will go a long way to save lives.
All that and more on Citi Prime News, which is live on all affiliates across the 16 regions of the country. In the Western region, we are live on Ajinpa 100.7 in Takwa, Sky Power FM 93.5 in Takrady, Beach FM 105.5 also in Takrady, Bono region, this is Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani, Ashanti region, Focus FM 94.3 on KNUST campus in Kumasi, Orange FM 107.9. Fill vacancies on the Supreme Court bench. They are Justice Henry Anthony Kofi, Justice Yao Asare Dako, and Justice Richard Ejay Frimpong. The nomination, according to the President, follows the mandatory retirement of 3 justices of the Apex Court earlier this year. The first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei Owusu, referred the appointment of the 3 justices to the Appointment Committee of the House for consideration and report.
There are now 13 justices of the court, including the new Chief Justice, Mr. Justice Gertrude Tokuno. In order to fill these vacancies and reach the full complement of the court, I instructed the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Mr. Godfred Yeboah-Dame, of my intention to appoint to the Supreme Court, subject to the satisfactory conclusion of the processes set out in Article 1442 of the Constitution, the following persons. 1. Justice Henry Anthony Kofi, Justice of Appeal. 2. Justice Yao Asare Dako, Justice of Appeal. And 3. Justice Richard Ejay Frimpong, Justice of Appeal. On 27 July 2023, the Judicial Council advised me by letter under the hand of the Council's chairperson, Chief Justice Gertrude Isabasaki Tokuno, of the suitability of my nominations of these persons for appointment to the Supreme Court. Upon receipt of the Judicial Council's advice and in accordance with my duty under Article 1442, I consulted with the Council of State by submitting the names and curricula vitae of the nominees for appointment to the court. The Council of State has, by a letter dated 11th August 2023, notified me of the successful completion of the consultation process. I'm therefore, in accordance with Article 1442 of the Constitution, seeking the approval of Parliament for the appointment of the nominees as Justice of the Supreme Court. And other members and nominations are hereby referred to the Appointments Committee for consideration and report.
You heard the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei Owusu. There's a drowning of 6 people in the Afram River. This incident took place when a canoe transporting 12 individuals from Ejata to Bogakrom capsized. Among the passengers, 3 elderly women and 2 girls from Azia Chekope drowned. So far, 6 people have been rescued, while the bodies of the 6 who drowned have been retrieved. Eastern Regional Operations Director of NADMO, Alfred Oredu Ajiman, has been giving updates on the issue.
Received update from our district director that the 6th person, the 6th body has been retrieved from the river, now making the deceased person 6. We wish to caution our canoe operators on the river Volta and Afram in the eastern region, that is around Donkokrom, Afram Plains, north and south. The communities along the river from to strictly adhere to the use of these life jackets. We not supplied life jackets to these canoe operators somewhere last year, and we realized they are not making good use of the life jackets. At least making use of the life jackets will go a long way to save lives.
Eastern Regional Operations Director of NADMO, Alfred Oredu Ajiman.
Now, the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCO, is seeking the intervention of security agencies to help it in its operations in Boku. The NEDCO is concerned about the negative impacts of the protracted conflict on their revenue mobilization efforts and the monitoring of their customers. Maxwell Kotoka, the communications manager for NEDCO, explains that their office faces challenges in deploying officers, explaining the necessity for a comprehensive security arrangement to ensure effective operations.
Management has engaged the city on the possibility of treating our operations in Boko as a special line item under national security. Because not as we are not able to collect the money, not as we are losing due to debt, we are also required to ensure that the power is sustained. The absence of power provides a very fertile environment for insecurity. And so we are required to ensure that the power is available in a very sustained so as to dispel insecurity. And if the presence of power is that, then it is really fair and prudent that we consider it as a national security so that it will be treated as such. So far, the discussions have been generally full the expectation that we will get the final nod so that support.
Maxwell Kotoka is the communications manager for Northern Electricity Distribution Company.
The Minister of Trade and Industry, Kwabena Tahir Hammond, says it is untrue that the government intends to incorporate the reconstruction of the General Hospital into the Agenda 111 project. During proceedings in Parliament earlier this week, the Majority Leader, Osechi Mensabunsu, announced that the withdrawal of funds meant for the project by sponsors is to blame for its suspension, adding that the latest plan is to have the architecture of the health facility take the form of an Agenda 111 hospital. Speaking to journalists in Parliament, Katie Hammond says the Majority Leader was outdated on details of the project. Let's go live to the House and speak to our parliamentary correspondent, Ni Ayikwe Okai, for more on this. Good afternoon to you and thank you for joining us. Now, Katie Hammond is saying that the Majority Leader did not have the recent details on the reconstruction of the General Hospital. What new details did he give to the parliamentary press corps?
Well, so if you would recall, the majority leader, Chairman Sabosu, during proceedings in Parliament this week, made it clear to us, after a statement by the Member of Parliament, Paula Dadekotopon, for Dole, who are calling for the reconstruction of the General Hospital immediately, the majority leader, Chairman Sabosu, said that funds that were meant for the project had been withheld by the sponsors, which is contributing to the stall of the project for over 2 years now. And he indicated that the plan by the government is to have this health facility incorporated into the Agenda 111 project. So the initial architecture that was meant for the project wasn't going to be done because of the lack of funds, but it will take the form of Agenda 111. Well, just before proceedings, we've seen the Minister of Trade and Industry, Citi Hammond, addressing journalists, and what he's been saying is that the majority leader, Chairman Sabosu, was outdated on the matter because just within the last few days, there's been a cabinet meeting with plans by the finance minister to immediately release funds for the reconstruction of the General Hospital to take its initial form that it was meant to be. He is saying that it is not true that the government intends to incorporate it into the Agenda 111 project. To this effect, the finance minister would, as soon as possible, release funds. He did not indicate exactly when the funds would be disbursed. He was also not able to tell us exactly when the project will commence, but he claims that contractors are on site and they are expected to commence work as soon as possible. That's the assurance he gave. But he denied the fact that government intends to reconstruct the General Hospital in the form of an Agenda 111 health facility.
Now, have you been able to speak to the Greater Accra Regional Caucus of the House? Because Neelante Vanderpoy said if this is not captured in the budget to be read next week, they are going to give what he terms a showdown against the government's 2024 budget.
So just as he made it clear on the floor of Parliament, he's waiting on the finance minister to present the budget statement next week. And then hopefully, if there is nothing said about this health facility, then he would go ahead to marshal his people, the Gamashi residents as well as residents of Latu, embark on what he says would be a demonstration to fill up the offices of the health minister and all those that are required to pay heed to this project to come to fruition.
Now, is Mr. Citi Hammond ready to brief the House on the latest he's giving the press call, or he's just going to leave it as he has addressed the issue to you, the pressmen in the House?
Well, he didn't indicate what exactly his next line of action would be, but the briefing he gave us, he was just to debunk assertions or statements made by the majority leader, Chairman Sabosu, to the effect that the government intends to change the architecture or the plan that was meant for the Agenda 111 project. But as to make any official statements on the floor of Parliament, he hasn't made that clear to us yet.
Thank you very much. That was our parliamentary correspondent, Ni Ayukwe Okai, bringing us the latest in the House, where we understand the Trade Minister, Citi Hammond, has denied assertions by the majority leader that the reconstruction of the General Hospital will be incorporated into Government Agenda 111. Let's take a listen to Honorable Citi Hammond.
But I don't know how that information came about. It cannot be true. I'm told that the leader of the House, our majority leader, who is the leader of the House, they had put out some information. I'm not sure he was present at a certain meeting when some decisions were taken. So I think he was slightly outdated. So the information he put out there wouldn't be entirely accurate. The report is that sometime back at the health ministry, and I'm happy that my colleague, the health minister, is not around. So maybe I'm doing this on his behalf. It's clear and there's no doubt in anybody's mind Some years back, I'm told about 2019, 2020, about 2020, 20. I'm doing my best.
So you had the Minister for Trade and Industry, K.T. Hammond.
Former Chief Justice Sophia Kufu has attributed the recurring debt crisis to bad governance. According to her, the low standard in governance has affected the local economy, resulting in high debt levels and hindering desirable outcomes. The former Chief Justice cites illegal mining, the domestic debt exchange program, and the soaring prices of goods and services as major examples of consequences of bad governance in the country. She was speaking on Accra-based Star FM last night.
Governance has been in a crisis in this country for quite a long time. Governance is not just that people are placed in positions. No, it's what you do.
That's right.
In their position. And everybody is in a position to yield desirable outcomes. If we were, would we be in so much debt that people's pension monies are being snatched from them through bamboozling? Everything one requires continuous improvement. If you feel so self-satisfied, everything is as it should be. If you're saying everything is as it should be, it has to be because you have done an assay and you can genuinely say that everything taken into account. Yes. We've been seeing programs, all this galamsey problem.
But government is fighting galamsey.
The waters are getting thicker and thicker. You know, it used to be like coffee. Now it's like thick chocolate, like the kind of cocoa drink we used to make in boarding school, about 8 spoons of Milo. And then you add 2 drops of milk to it, and it's thick.
That's how what is that?
Yes. And what are we? I mean, are we even? Sometimes I watch things on the TV, read news and all that, and I'm asking, are we even thinking about our grandchildren?
Sophia Kufu is a former Chief Justice.
This is still the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. Still to come, management of Citi FM and Citi TV dispatches 2 truckloads of relief items to Nodai and Afajato South in the Volta region to help persons displaced by the rising water level of the Volta Lake. We have details of that, plus other stories coming up shortly. Please don't go away.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. A member of the Health Committee of Parliament, Sebastian Sandari, has attributed the closure of the renal units at the outpatient department of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital to leadership failure. The facility was reopened on Monday, November 6, after being closed for 6 months due to a 4 million cedi debt, resulting in an increase in death toll of renal patients to 19. In response to a briefing by the Health Minister in Parliament, the MP for Dafiama Busie Issa criticized the government for not being proactive in saving the lives lost during the closure.
So what did the Ministry of Health do? And that's what I mean by leadership failure. So the very first day the notice came was the very first day we expected leadership for government and for the ministry to say that no, you cannot do that because you don't have the power to do that on your own. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, about 19 people, as the report comes, have perished because they were denied the right, the fundamental right
That was a member of the Health Committee of Parliament, Sebastian Sandari. Meanwhile, the Health Minister, Kweku Agyemang-Manu, says the current fee of 380 cedis for dialysis treatment is woefully inadequate to sustain the renal unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
It remains a fact that the current charge of 380 cedis for dialysis is insufficient to enable the RDU to generate enough revenue to fulfill its full obligations under the contract with FMC, especially as it does not have a hedged exchange rate per annum regime. This has compromised the ability of the RDU to raise the funds required to pay for consumables procured from FMC promptly. Due to the high incidence of patients requiring dialysis, the total cost of care keeps rising, adding to the accumulation of debt.
That was the Health Minister, Kweku Agyemang-Manu. Meanwhile, following the reopening of the renal unit, Citi News says Eno Safo visited the facility and spoke to some renal patients who have expressed their gratitude for the government for the reopening of that facility. She has more in this report.
We're at the renal unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and according to management, it is opened to outpatients. What we understand is that there are sessions daily, and the session starts from as early as 2 a.m. all the way through to 10 p.m. We also understand that this same center also caters to inpatients, that is, people who have been admitted at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. We're going to go inside and see for ourselves if indeed it has been opened to patients. So we're entering the premises of the renal center, and we see some people here. We're going to speak to a couple of them so that they can tell us how it is going. How was the experience like not being able to do your dialysis on a daily basis?
Oh, it's really awful. It's not a pleasant thing to cry, because sometimes we don't get the money to go outside. So we are really happy that the unit is open now. Yes.
And you call your the days you come here sessions. Are you done with yours?
No, please.
So when will you get your session?
Probably Friday. Yes, please.
Why Friday?
Yeah, those days we have days that we come. I used to come on Tuesdays and Fridays. So definitely Friday will be my turn. Yes, please.
And what about you? How relieved are you that the center is open to outpatients?
I'm very much relieved, even though we will be paying, but as compared to the private, this one is better. Yeah.
Does that mean that you've been going to private hospitals for your dialysis whilst this one was closed?
Yes.
And how expensive was that?
Yeah, some take 500, 550, 650, and up. It goes.
Have you finished your session as you're sitting here?
No, I've not finished. I'll be coming tomorrow. I came here to do some labs that is required of me.
We have another patient here who has just finished her session on the dialysis machine. We're going to speak to her and let her explain how it went for her. You're welcome to the Citi Newsroom.
Does the reopening of the renal unit bring you relief?
I'm very happy. I just finished my session as well.
When the renal unit was closed, how did it affect you? And what were the other hospitals you visited charging?
I couldn't afford the charges at the private hospitals, so I was missing my sessions. But I'm glad the Kolebu Teaching Hospital renal unit is opened now.
The Kolebu Hospital management intends to increase the cost of dialysis treatment. Are you aware of this?
Even with the 380 Ghana cedis, I can't afford it because aside the dialysis, there are other injections and medicines that you pay for. We really do not agree with the increment. We are barely able to afford this one, so we are pleading with the government to consider us.
Beyond this area, this waiting area, to where they've put out of bounds to relatives, keep door closed, that is where the dialysis session goes in. So we've been told that there are about 15 beds or 15 machines that they go on for their sessions. But as of now, only 10 are working. And you can see the nurses beyond that door The spokesperson for the Renal Patients Association is also here. We're going to speak to him and find out his thoughts about the reopening as well as how it has been today.
This morning, the first session is done. They are finished. They are waiting for the second session to be on. So that's why I'm hanging around to make sure things are moving smoothly so that we'll be free. We really appreciate what they've done. Now I can see the death rate will come down because it's that they'll be getting good clearance and good dialysis. So we appreciate what they've done so far.
Are they still charging the 380 Ghana cedis? Because according to the press release that Kolebu released yesterday, they were asking governments to, expedite the increment of the dialysis fee.
But why are they even thinking of that? Why are they even thinking of increasing it to the... Yes, for me, I understand them. I know why they want to increase it. Because they are owing and they want to break even. So I understand why they want to do that. But if even the 380, let me tell you something. Today, the unit was open and I think 10 people were called. Out of the 10, only 4 came. I tried to cross-check from them and I realized that they don't have the 380 to come and pay. That is why they didn't come. So they are in their homes. They couldn't even get the 380. So if you still want to go to the 765.42, what would they do? So rather, Parliament should be looking at how they can put it on the national health insurance so that it can cover everybody.
Let's talk about the health minister. He's supposed to appear in Parliament on Thursday. What do you expect to hear from him when he goes to answer those questions?
Well, I don't know the questions he's going to answer, but if I have a chance to question him, why is government not taking care of Kolebu Dialysis renal unit?
Although the renal unit at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital has been opened to outpatients, it's a very quiet day, very unlike a normal Wednesday here at the renal center. What the patients are hoping for is that other patients would be able to find the money that they require for their dialysis. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Eno Safo.
Now, the MEPE Development Association has rejected the statement made by the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, regarding a simulation exercise conducted by the Volta River Authority in MEPE ahead of the water spillage from the Akosombo Dam. The sector minister claimed on Wednesday that a VRA had conducted simulation exercises involving all affected communities prior to the dam's opening. Chairman of the MEPE Development Association, Fabian Maulenu Kojo, in an interview with Citi News, described the minister's comments as misinformation.
We, as a community, have not been involved nor informed of this whole core simulation exercise. And for the minister to be sticking to those issues, giving numbers, etc., the simple thing is that he should provide better and further particulars. But as a community leader, to debunk all those assertions that we are not aware, we're not informed, we must provide those details because we challenge that it isn't true. It's as simple as that.
Fabian Maulenu further urged the government to intensify efforts to develop a lasting solution for housing the displaced victims.
We want government to start engaging us as community leaders right now. Engineers, planners, and architects of this country from the National Head Office have been on the ground during the course of all these problems. I believe that it is high time for government to engage those institutions to come down so that we all engage. Look, if you look at the number of people who are still languishing in classrooms, people's business are right on the ground. They don't have anywhere to go. I think that institutions must come straightforward for us to begin to engage so we can resettle compensation items to begin to what? Water down and cool down the nerves.
Fabian Maulenu Kojo is chairman of the MEPE Development Association. Still on flood victims, some 8,000 residents of Blekusu in the Ketu South municipality are facing the encroaching waters of the Rising Sea and Ketu Lagoon, leading to flooding in their homes. The situation has cut off the health center in the community from the vulnerable. Caleb Kuda has further details in this second part of his report from Blekusu.
Come with me, let's walk through another difficult side. Oh, Lord, my nose is in trouble. The stench is crazy. And it gets worse as we go. I understand we are going to the chief fisherman for Blakusu's house, and his home is literally under siege. The lagoon has taken over. Wow. Chief fisherman. Yo, lucky Emilia. Yakejo.
Na puta famanya na biure. Achia ko ba hopora mi. Achia re mi ala gbe mi ora shara gbere akoi. Mi ora shara gbere akoi. Nwo katan ogbo. Gbado wa chichi ngo jodo fi o mu ra shara rochi kankan. Wona ra ka ma wali. Na mi eku kokoria gbere. Ko ga ko mi shiko. Iku mi ba chi jaja.
Achade ayina tu ho fike chi alafi.
O wala ka fimira ajojo sasa. Fi pomo no fa kebira. Gala godo fimira.
Nkakana ni afi achi ava garami papa man.
Oh, I know ba jimu da ka lofu ya ona iku ya chi ava garami.
Mejiba mi avu afia.
Nana me ka te fara kama le fia mi yigo. Somi Dochega.
Somi Dochega is the chief fisherman for Blekusu. He tells me that when he first built this house where he lives, his home, the lagoon was way far away from his home. Now, in the last month, the lagoon has spilled its bank, not spilled, but it has overflown its banks, invaded his home. They've tried to build walls. It's always collapsed. Their home, their kitchen, their food stuff, everything has been destroyed. And I asked him if they have any plans of relocating because it's been a month, as he said. And he said that is the plan, but they have nowhere to go. Awenya chief fisherman lafia. Afia ba kobala shi obe. But the point is now, as chief fisherman, Martin in 1 month, ka amayo galikla sukli drama plongia.
Akpeba neba ngunya na ururure mudaria. Ayo jofia ina ngofoga pata. Fifi lafia mo ururure mudario ta na achofia be yira mara pama amama lonoga monago. Ta wi mi ma kota pa unto kpochi ali. Wo mi lachia ma. Mi ma tung yika afon gbagba munam. Ko ngonya ngika refuna mi ta mi yi pepere mo no kpere mi anwu.
Well, let's turn this way so you can have a background of the water as we speak, right? So this is the come on, man. So you see the lagoon then drags all the filth from the community into people's homes, right? And the stench. Oh my word. My goodness. Okay. It's difficult. He says they've not planned to relocate. If they did, it would have been easier for them to do. But because this hits them impromptu, then if you even have people whose homes you could go to, they've also not planned for you. So this is a Ojodoviea, Ustorumei. Karabanaji Kanu Adare Wafam. From kitchen to bedroom, Nazakanu. We are going to a retired teacher's house. She invited us to come to her while we were going to the hospital. So we want to go there. Now, look at her. Look at how we're going. We're holding each other's hands, walking on stones we can't see that has been filled in the water with sandbags, so that we can carefully get to her home. But this is a retiree. We are young men trying to get to the retiree's home. And this retiree we met by the street. That means that she also uses this end to get home and get out of home. What a way to live a life of retirement. What a way to retire. Hey, that's Depot. I beg. Forgive. The house is submerged. My goodness. So I've come to see Grandma Benedicta Happy Yibo. In fact, you're a retired teacher. Mm-hmm. Let me release a secret that you were in the shower and then you quickly had to come out and go and dress up. You didn't finish?
No, I didn't finish.
You didn't think I was going to come when you invited me to come?
What? I didn't think you'd come back to my house.
So as you've seen us, how do you feel?
Oh, I'm happy. I'm really happy.
Because you've been distressed for long.
Yes.
Nobody's talking about you.
No.
What have you been going through as a retired teacher?
Oh, I'm going through a hardship. Sometimes I have to walk through this flood to my church, and then any place that I want to go. I went out with these flood situations.
Grandma, it wasn't easy for me as a young man coming to your house, walking on sandbags and stones that I couldn't see because they're all covered in water. Grandma, how old are you?
I'm 67 years.
So how tough is it for you?
It's really tough for me to walk through this flood.
Do you wear Wellington boots?
No. I don't have any Wellington boots.
Do you go in a canoe?
No.
You
I walk with my foot.
Is this the life you envisaged after retirement?
No. I retired since 2017. Yeah. Oh, this year, this is what I'm experiencing.
Has this ever happened before, something like this?
No. Oh. Maybe around our youth age. Yeah.
So how long has this persisted? Your whole house has been flooded. You're walking through water to get to church.
It's around maybe from July. July.
Are you serious?
Yes.
July,
from
August,
July.
September, October.
Yes.
That's 3 months.
Yes.
Look, how can people help you? What can people do for you?
I have to move from this house.
You need to relocate.
Yes.
You need a place.
Yes, I need a place.
As soon as possible.
As soon
Do you
as
have
possible.
food at home?
Oh, for the food.
You have that?
Yes, I have it.
Okay. But all you need is to move out of here.
Yes.
Where are your children?
My children, they are at their places. They are working.
Right.
Yes.
Have they seen where your place looks like?
Yes.
What are they saying?
Oh, they don't have anything to say. They don't say anything. So, even one of them is in O. He said I should move from here to O. Yes.
Someone is probably thinking that the people of Blekusu have built their houses in the way of the lagoon or waterway, and that's the nature is biting back. Have you built in waterways?
No. Well, this area is an island. Island is an island. Yes. So even people said this place was not flood. It's not a floody place.
So amongst your age mates, when you meet, what do you attribute this flooding to? What is causing it?
I don't know.
Is that rising levels in the lagoon or sea?
Yeah,
or
okay.
the rains
People said
or
it's
the Kosovo Dam?
about the rising of the flood. They opened some bridges, and then rainy to cause it. And even, you see, this, what is it? Haveji? Even that's, they opened the distance.
The estuary?
It's causing more harm than ever.
The assembly member for Blekusu is Clemens Agbote.
Yes.
Sir, you have a crisis at hand.
Yes, it's indeed true. We have a terrible situation in Blekusu now. Blekusu, let me say, 2/3 of the population is now into water. Their buildings are in water now. And where the water is coming from, we are assuming it's coming from the Kita Lagoon. Probably it might link up to the water that is a spillage one from Sugar Copper side through to our areas. And day in, day out, the water level has been rising. And we don't know what to do currently. We are just reporting to authorities. The most authority that we normally report to is NADMO, Katu South. Anytime the situation happens, we call on them. They come to register, and we are also living at the mercy of the Kita Lagoon water.
So when they come to register the people, what follows? What happens next?
Let me say, so far, the 2 registrations and the updates that we have done on the victims, we have not heard anything from them. The first one, they came and registered about 184 households. We have not heard anything. A recent one that has occurred, they came and registered 159 households. So we have
That's more than 300 now.
Yes, please.
What's the population of these people? If you put average, what's the average population in a household?
Oh, the average population in this community would be 4,502.
And you tell me that 2/3 of these are living in water, or their households have been taken over by water.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the adult population.
Right.
The adult population I know is around 4,000 to 5,000.
Add the
when
children?
When we add children, then we are getting to 8,000, 7,000, 8,000 as a population of this community.
Your health center, have you seen it?
The health center situation, it has been a problematic one for we, the stakeholders of Blekusu. We reported the condition of the health center to the municipal assembly through the MCE. I called on him to come. He came with the engineer from the assembly, came to assess the situation. They look at the nurses' quarters also. When you look at the building, you see that it's deteriorating. We are still waiting on them. I brought the MP also to come. So far, I may say that the MP is doing her best. I've seen it in her MP's common fund as a plan to certainly come and do something on the building. So we are still waiting on the authorities to come and save our members of the community.
How many nurses are in this bungalow?
So far, the bungalow is supposed to host 2 nurses. So currently 3 are living inside. They have a staff of 5 as a community stakeholders. The students who are living in the island, the Blekusu New Town, they find it difficult to pass through the water always to their various schools. We have 2 public schools in the community, that is AME Zion Basic School and RC Basic School, and students have to pass through the water always to their schools. And 2 private schools also. One is also located at Blekusu New Town. So it's a worrying situation in Blekusu that we have been talking about always for authorities to come.
The residents of Blekusu find themselves in a very difficult place between the devil and the deep blue sea. This is literally the sea slapping them on one end, eating up their lands, and then the lagoon hitting them from the back, stabbing them really hard, eating their food, literally, destroying their homes and taking shelter and roof off their heads. They are fleeing their homes and they are looking for food to eat. They are looking for roof over their heads. They are looking for a healthcare center that will not be a threat to their very lives while they are seeking health. And so this is the situation in Blekusu. It's a public health crisis. It requires immediate humanitarian and concerted efforts from all stakeholders to safeguard lives in the interim and have a more comprehensive plan. The assembly member says they need a shelter, they need food, they need everything they can get, including mosquito nets. And as I speak, I'm about wrapping up this story because a lot of mosquitoes are biting me. For Citi News, I am Caleb Kuda.
Here in the studios, my name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa, here with Charles Owusu Kumi. Now, the management of Citi FM and Citi TV has dispatched 2 truckloads of relief items to North Dai and Afajatu South. Presenting the 2 trucks through the respective members of parliament, Managing Director of Citi FM and Citi TV, Samuel Atta Mensah, indicated that subsequent donations will be sent to the 2 constituencies battered by the spillage of the Akosombo Dam. Here is an interaction between Samuel Atta Mensah and the MPs for Afajatu South, Angela Ofoyiwa Aloute, and North Dai Jocelyn Tete.
We have the 2 MPs here, Afajatu South and then North Dai. They are here to receive the items. Here we have full we have medical, we have Banku Dade here. Yeah, class elegant. We have rice, we have maize, we have we have charcoal. There's something here, the gallon. The barrel. And then we have mattresses in there. We have mattresses. Some use clothing. Now this is our foremost intervention. As time goes on, we'll be liaising with them and then see what else we can do to help. If it happens to them, it's happened to us. It's one Ghana. So let's all continue helping. And on this note, on behalf of the communities here, we thank you for giving us your blessing and your substance to be a blessing to them. God bless you and keep doing what you're doing.
Right. So each constituency gets a truckload?
Yes, please. The truck.
The other truck is and we'll go there.
Yeah. So track 1 and track 2.
Fantastic.
Moving today.
Fantastic. Great job. Honorable, so this is coming to your constituency. What do you have to say? How are you feeling right now?
What else can I say than to say a very big thank you to you and your team. We are grateful, and we will make sure that the items get to those who deserve to have it.
Right.
We are very grateful.
Great. And for you as well, were you expecting a gesture like this?
It's a very difficult time, and then everybody knows that these are times that we all need people to come to our aid, and we're not expecting this. Like, it has really marveled us. We want to say a very big thank you on behalf of our constituents, myself, and then we are so grateful. And then we'll make sure we use this, we give it to the right people, and then report back to Citi.
So earlier you heard the managing director of Citi FM and Citi TV, Samuel Atamens, presenting truckloads of relief items to constituents of Afajato South through their MP Angela Oforiwa Alouti and Joycelyn Tete, that is the MP for North Dai. Let's now take you up north, where the team is also expected to make a donation to persons affected by the rising water level of the Akosombo Dam at Buipe in the Savannah region. My colleague in that region, Shawana Yusuf, joins us via telephone. Good afternoon to you, Shawana. Thank you very much for your time. Where is the team currently?
Okay, Howard, good afternoon. The team is currently in Buipe, and we are, as you rightly mentioned, we are here to donate some relief items to affected victims of the Buipe flooding that happened for over 2 months now. So the team is here. We are just very soon we'll be going to donate a truck full of rice, beans, sugar, just name them, all the relief items they would need to make life much more better for them in this trying time. So currently we are with the Member of Parliament for the area, and also who also doubles as the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo, to go with him, and then Abujinapo, Samuel John Jinapo, to go with him to the grounds to go and do the donation. And I'm sure he wants to have some word or two with us as a team have come. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes. If I may ask you, can you kindly tell us the current situation of the flooding in this area?
Thank you very much. Like you nearly got it right. I'm John Jinapo. I'm the MP for the Yape Kosogo constituency. And as you have seen for yourself, so many houses have been inundated, so many houses have been submerged. Indeed, this even happened before the spillage of the Akosombo Dam. But for some reason, despite all the effort we make, it does appear that you are the first in terms of the media houses and the NGOs and the civil society organizations to come to the aid of the people here. Almost 5,000 people have been displaced. And so let me express my sincerest appreciation to the Citi Group, especially to Samuel Atamens. Indeed, I placed a call to him, and he promised that he will come to the aid of the affected victims. And so I can only say that on behalf of the constituents, the DC himself will be joining us. We don't want this to be a partisan political issue. People have been affected, MP people have been affected, NDC people have been affected. And so we just want to help people in the name of humanity. So once again, let me thank you and to appeal to other media houses, other non-governmental organizations to come to the aid of the people. Personally, I have donated some items as well. And so yours is coming in at a very, very timely period. And I want to really, really express my appreciation to you.
I'm making your request to Citi TV, Citi FM. Were you really expecting this to come this quick? And
I'm shocked, honestly. I'm shocked, and that's why I want to thank Samens for this very, very good venture. Mostly, people would tend to tell towards the south when it comes to these issues, but for him to dispatch his team right from Accra all the way to Bupe, I mean, I'm overwhelmed. And to be frank with you, he's gained my respect, not just because of the items, but for his swiftness and for his decision to even turn to look at the people of Bupe. I really, really appreciate this gesture. No matter how small one might see it, even though it's quite enormous in terms of the items you are bringing, I really want to show my appreciation to him in particular, to the Citi team, and also to all those who have contributed to Citi TV and Citi News when you made the appeal. What I can say is that as far as I'm concerned, without prejudice, you are putting their donations to very good use. And so I also want to appeal to everybody to try and contribute through your channel so that you can continue to help people.
thank you very much. So how are you heard that from John Jinapo? And he's really pleased with what the team is doing, with all the benevolent donations that have come through to support people who are displaced with flooding. And for the fact that it is coming to the north, they are really glad that we
Very
haven't
well.
left.
Thank you so much for your time. That was Shawana Yusuf, who is our Northern Regional Correspondent currently in the Savannah region. This is still the Citi Prime News. Still to come, Vodafone Ghana inaugurates its annual homecoming initiative at the Tema General Hospital here in Accra. We'll tell you more shortly. Please stay.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Throughout all life-changing moments such as graduations, weddings, funerals, birthdays, ATL is there to ensure you're never out of style. When you think fabric, think ATL. Log on to atlfabrics.com. Order and buy your favorite ATL fabric. You can also visit our shop at number 40 Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, opposite the Swansea Shopping Arcade at Accra Central. Also available in leading fabric dealer shops in Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, the Vodafone Ghana Foundation has inaugurated its annual homecoming initiative at the Tema General Hospital here in Accra. This charitable endeavor is dedicated to covering medical bills and associated expenses for less privileged patients. Since its establishment in 2011, the program has successfully provided financial relief for over 2,000 patients. Speaking to Citi News, Director of Legal and External Affairs for Vodafone Ghana, Preba Greenstreet, underscored the foundation's unwavering commitment to advancing health and well-being through their connected health pillar.
We know that medical care is something that a lot of people in Ghana struggle with. You know, medical care is expensive, and we know that the NHIS also helps to a certain degree. For Vodafone Foundation, we concentrate our initiatives around health and around education and digital inclusion, of course. But here we really want to just show love, show care, show compassion, show to Ghanaians that, you know, we are inherently here with them. We are here with them. We are here to help them. We are here to help the next generation. And we hope that by virtue of love, also we'll encourage others to do so as well. And we'll encourage the mothers to see about what they can do for themselves even more, so that they're able to look after the children and take care of them as well. And we don't just discharge mothers, we also discharge other patients who are also struggling to pay their bills. So wherever we do it, we hope that it inspires those that we help to get up and be even more productive and to move us all forward in the development of Ghana.
Preba Greenstreet is Director of Legal and External Affairs for Vodafone Ghana. Now, Director and Clinical Coordinator of the Tema General Hospital, Dr. Augustine Kwashi, further encouraged the public